Hello guys, welcome to Mother Code Academy. So let's get started. We usually start with hash include ice cream. As I earlier said, so we can highlight what we're going to see in this video. Let's start with if statement alone, then followed by if else statement, and we're going to see the application of if else statements. Good. So now, normally in programming, there are three basic constructs of every programming language. So the three basic constructs. Some people say structure. Some call it as structure. There are one is sequencing. And two is iteration. Or let's put the iteration to be last. Selection, then iteration. Good. So what I actually mean here is that the three basic constructs of every programming language is these three. That is sequencing. Sequencing means that the computer read our line of code, line after line. Computer read line 1. This is not a line of code. This is just a comment. Let's write a code here. So in order to see how our if statement work, let's just create a simple program. The program is that we've written a program some days ago. The program that will allow user to enter his age. The program will then add some certain numbers to the age and set display you are going to be or you will be so years old in the next 10 years or in the next 5 years. So now we're going to modify our program using the if statement. How about if a user enter a number that is a negative number? Let's write the program again. Let's see int age. You know our data type is integer, since the age is not going to hold a number with decimal point. So int age, then cout, enter your age, and then we can come here and put cin age if you like, and if you like you can just take this one away from here and then just place it here. All is well, all is normal. So let's leave it there. So enter your age. The computer is asking you as a user to enter your age. So this line of code here, let me take it down, is going to accept this cin. We're going to put a number, and the number is going to be stored in this variable called age. Yeah. So let's come here and put cout. You will be age plus 10. Let's use 10 years. 15 years old in the next 10 years. So let's assume this is how our program works. So if I run this program, if I compile it, F11 to compile in my dev C++, what I'm going to see here is that the computer is asking, a white cursor here is blinking, waiting for me to enter my age. Okay, let's assume I am 15 years old. So the computer says you will be 25 years old in the next 10 years. This program works correct. However, if I run this program again and I enter my age to be minus 5 years old and minus 5. So can you see? The computer says you will be 5 years old in the next 10 years. This is impossible. There is no way my age can be a negative number. So in order to make our program to be very flexible, we need to modify this code using our conditional statement. So the three basic constructs of every programming language, some call it structure, as sequencing. Sequencing means that computer is reading our code line after line. So the first line is this line here. This is our integer. So in this line 8, in our main function, this is the main function. The main function starts from line 3 here. So our first line here, the computer reads this line. It declares a variable. The name of the variable is age. It is of integer type. This is what the computer do. Computer come to the next line, that is sequence. Sequence in sequencing or in sequential manner. So this one is the next one here. The computer display see out your age, enter your age. So the computer, after reading line 8, it will just come straight to line 9, and then the computer will come to this one, waiting for the user to enter a number so that the computer can store, or my compiler can store the number in my age variable. And then for line 11, this one, the computer displays this line of code. So this is the sequence. We have been working with this. The next one is selection. Selection is what do we want the computer to do if so condition happen. If this condition meets, what do you want the computer to do? So the computer is going to select based on the conditions given to it. If this happen, I should do this. If it is this, then I will do this. So selection. We're going to work with if statement, if else statement here, or this statement. Then after the if else statement, in our next video, we're going to see the if else if, that is if else and else if, that is the nested one. Then we continue with the switch. So, but before that, let's see how it works. So what we're going to do is that we're going to bring a condition. We said if age is less than 0. So just come here and set age equal to age multiplied by -1. Let me explain this code to my students so they can understand. So this if here in line 11, this is the syntax of the if. This is the syntax. We're going to type if all in small letters in lowercase and then open bracket. So I'm asking the computer, is my age less than 0? I already know that a number that is less than 0 must be a negative number. 0 is the smallest positive number. Yeah, I call 0 a positive number. Of course, yes, 0 is a positive number. So more especially in terms of when it comes to matter of computer related stuff. So the number that is below 0, that is less than 0, that number must be a negative number. So that is why I use less than 0 to check if the number is negative. Then I say age equal to age times -1. If you don't want to use this condition here, age less than 0, you can use another one, but it may be difficult than this one, because I remember the first time I began to learn programming. If I want to check if a number is negative number, I try to add 1 to that number and see if the number is greater than how it is before. What I mean is that I will take the age variable and add 1 to it. If I add 1 to it and the new number I get is not greater than the previous number, then the number is a negative number. So it depends on how you think. So, but I think this is the simplest way. Age less than 0. So I said age equal to age multiplied by -1. What I just do here is that, in mathematics, this is very wrong. There is no way you can just do something like this here. There is no way in maths you can say x equal to x plus 1. This is totally wrong in mathematics. But in programming, it is very, very nice. It is valid program. So what happens is that we just come here. What the computer will do is that computer will take age. So what is being stored in your age variable? For example, let's assume the user enter 15. Let's say the user enter -15. So if the user enter -15, computer is going to take -15 here and then multiply it by -1. So -15 multiplied by -1, the -1 here, when the -1 is being multiplied by this -15, the minus sign will disappear. So we'll be left with 15. And then the computer will take the 15 here and assign it back to our age variable. So this is what the computer do. This left hand side remain the way it is as a variable, while this right hand side, the computer will make the operation the computer is going to take the previous value of our age variable, multiply it by -1, and then store it back again in the age variable. So therefore now, if the user enter -15 here, the computer will check in line 12 if age is less than 0. Of course, yes, age is less than 0 since the user enter -15. This is just a comment. I'm using comment to demonstrate this to you guys. So age equal to age multiplied by -1. So my age, computer will keep this as a variable and then take the previous value, that is -15. Let's do it here. -15. Let's see how the computer visualize this. Multiplied by -1. So the answer is equal to what? The answer is equal to 15. So computer will keep 15 here. Yeah, computer will keep 15 here. Store the 15 inside the variable age. Can you see? In this line of code, in line 11, the computer is holding -15 inside the variable age. But in line 13, since we do this operation, the computer will later assign it to our age variable. So then computer will store 15 in this place here. Another way of writing age equal to age multiplied by -1 is, let's see the other way. It can be written as age times equal to -1. Yeah, like this. Age times equal to -1. It's very, very good like this. So you can use this one. It's shorthand or short form of this one here. But for now, I will use this long one. As we proceed, when we become very familiar with how code are written, then I will be using this one. So what happened here? If my age is less than 0, I want the computer to take age equal to age multiplied by -1. So you can see, since I put this if here, the next line that follows will only happen. So computer is going to execute line 13 only if my line 12 is true. I want you guys to understand what I'm saying here. My computer is going to execute line 13 only if line 12 is true. So if line 12 is true, computer will come to line 13 and execute. Yeah, it will execute line 13, go and execute line 14, and it will keep on executing the remaining lines of code. But if line 12 is false, computer is going to jump. Yeah, computer is going to skip or jump line 13. Then computer will just jump this line and come here. Then it will continue reading. It will continue reading from line 14 and 15 and continue reading the lines of code. I hope you understand. So that is how this if work if you do not specify or if you do use a curly braces. We are not going to use curly braces for this one because this is just a simple if statement. I hope you understand. Computer is going to execute line 13 only if line 12 is true. If line 12 is false, computer is going to skip line 13 and keep on reading. So this is how it works. So I hope you guys understand how the if statement works. We're going to see how the if else statement works. We're going to see how the if else statement works in a new sheet. So let's enter this sheet and see how it works. So hash include string. We're going to see how it will work. Firstly, we're going to explain the if else. Here, the nature of the problem is that we are going to write a program that will ask user to enter two numbers. Let the number be x and y. So if user enter x and y, the next thing we're going to do is that if x is smaller than y, then add 20 to x and 10 to y. Yeah, we're not done. else if y is smaller, else if x is bigger than y, then add 10 to x and 20 to y. Then find the average of the two numbers. Yeah, so this is the problem. The problem is that we are going to write a program that will ask user to enter two numbers. The numbers are x and y, two different numbers. If x is smaller than y, if the first number a user enter is smaller than the second number, then the computer should add, or our compiler should add 20 to x and 10 to y. Else, if x is bigger than y, then the computer should add 10 to x and 20 to y. If you just understand this problem is that we are adding 20 to the smaller number and 10 to the bigger number. So then we find the average of the two numbers. So let's write this program. Let's see how we're going to work with this. Firstly, I'm going to declare a variable. I'm declaring them of float type, since the number can be different number. It's not age. Unlike age, normally age used to be in integer format. So a user can decide to enter 14.5. It's normal. And then finding the average of two numbers, we need to make the data type to be flexible, to be able to, or to have the ability to work with the average. So now here I define, or I declare x as a float, y as float again. So two variables. I can declare a variable like this. It's normal to declare a variable like this. Float x, float y, understand? Float average is normal. Again, it's very, very normal to declare them like this. Float y, float average. Yeah, it's normal like this. You can see I give this average a full name, average. I do not put something like z. It's very good practice for students learning programming that you don't name a variable with a name that has no relationship with its work. Let the name of your variable be similar to the function of the variable. So this is average. You can make it like this. If you like, you can do the first way I do. There is x, y, average. So both my variable x separated by comma, variable y separated by comma, and my variable average, they are all of a floating point numbers type. So this is their data type. So the first thing we do here, we say cout, enter value for x. So we can come here and say cin. As you know, semicolon is just the end of this line. I earlier explained this in the previous, I think in my first video. You can check the playlist if this is the first time of you visiting this channel. So semicolon here shows that the end of the first line here is the end of the first line, and then we're going to continue from here. So the computer knows that this is a statement on its own. This one is also another statement. So cin x. So whatever the user enter is going to be stored in our variable x. So let's just copy this line of code. Let's just copy this line of code. Control C. And then we come here, Control V, and paste it. So here is y. Let's make this x to be capital letter. Control. And then this one to be capital letter y. So, but this one you cannot change this one to be capital letter or small letter. This one they will just be like they are here. Since we declare them here exactly how we declare them here, we are going to work with them here exactly. If you just change it, computer will tell you that I don't know what you're doing. So you have to make the correction. So here now, we're going to say if x is less than, that is if x is smaller than y. If x is smaller than y. So can you see, in this case now I put curly braces. So these braces I put is that I am trying to tell you guys that I am not just going to put a single line of code here. I'm going to put multiple lines of code here. Therefore, I have to use curly braces here. So let me just write the code and I will show you the previous program so you can know the difference. what I'm doing here is that if x is less than y, the first thing we're going to do is that add 20 to x. So we're going to say x equal to x plus 20. This is valid in programming. It is not invalid. In mathematics, this is prohibited. But in programming, it is well organized. It is nice. So we are taking the previous value of x. The previous value of x, we're going to add 20 to it. And whatever the result is, we're going to put it back inside the container, inside the variable x again. So x will now be updated here and be assigned to the variable x. I hope you understand. So then if I come here again, then we said y is equal to y plus what? Y plus 10. Yeah. So it's good. But I earlier told that the simplified version of this is y equal to y plus 10. The simplified version is y plus equal to 10. You can use this simplified version. This comment, computer don't read comment. That is why I use comment to explain what is happening to you guys. So x plus equal to 20. All this simplified, they are equal. This one is the same thing with this one. In fact, I would even like you, when practicing this program, to use this one. It will look the same. So if you notice now, I use curly bracket. In the previous program, I didn't use this curly braces here. But this one I use. Why? There is a big reason for that. Let's go to the previous program. This program here, I only have one line of code for computer to work if the if condition is true. That is why this place, if this place is true, computer will execute this line. Computer will execute this line. However, if this place is false, computer will skip this line. So let's say if the place is false, computer will skip line 13. Line 13. So I hope you guys understand. So, but if this, let's say this line of code, let's say line 12 is false. So if line 12 is false, computer will skip line 13 and computer will keep on reading line 14 if there is line 15 and line 16. That is how the computer will keep on working. But in this one now, I have to put it inside curly bracket because I want these things to happen. I want my computer to add 20 to x and at the same time add 10 to y. So these are many. So therefore you have to enclose it in curly braces. If you didn't put the curly braces, is that the computer will check if this condition is true. Let's assume I didn't put this curly braces. What will actually happen is that the computer will check, is this condition true? If this condition is true, x is less than y, computer will come and perform this first line, that is line 12. It will continue reading this one without even notice that is this true or is false. However, if this line of code is false, let's assume line 11 is false, computer is going to skip line 12 and continue reading from line 13. So can you see, problem will automatically occur. So to avoid problem, we need to put our curly braces. Here. So this program is normal now. Then here I put else. I'm just going to use else. Do you know why I'm just going to use else here? It's because if x is not greater than y, then if x is not greater than y, then automatically x can be equal to y or less than y. But in this case, we want user to enter two different numbers. So since the role of the program is that user must enter two different numbers. User must enter two different numbers. Therefore, we don't have to bother ourselves that it can be another value, this and that. So let's just work with the else here. So else, then the computer should just take this line of code, Control C, just paste it here, we just update it. Else is the opposite of this one. So if x is not less than y, then it shows that y, if x is not less than y, then x is greater than y. So if x is greater than y, the other condition will happen. If x is bigger than y, then add 10 to x. And you see, we add 10 to x. This line of code I highlighted here, and then 20 to y. So you see how we perform this line of code. So then now, if I just come back here, I can make this program to very, very nice. Let's assume let's assume we want another check here. If x is the same thing, this is used as the same thing. So this is the normal equal to using mathematics. In mathematics, the single equal to in programming is 2 equal to. So let me just show you something here. If you put x plus 2 equal to 5 in math, so this shows that if you take a number, an unknown number, we don't know the number, and you add 2 to that particular number, the result is the same thing as 5. But in programming, if you want to put the same thing, you put 2 equal to. So this 2 equal to in programming means the same 1 equal to in mathematics. But 1 equal to in programming means you are putting something to something. For example, like we say x equal to x plus 20. So we are putting x plus 20 into the container x here in line 16. We are putting x plus 20 into the container x, into the variable. So I hope you guys understand this. So now, what I just do here is that if x is the same thing as y, so I want to check, did my user disobey my rule? If x is the same thing as y, then let the computer come here and say see out, enter 2 different numbers. So let's just see the behavior of this program. Okay, we did not calculate the average. So we're going to calculate the average. I'm just going to show you something very new, something very nice. I know you guys will like it, but before that, let's find the average. So average equal to, we open bracket x plus, we put x plus y, and then we divide it by 2 since the numbers are 2. And then we come here and put C out average equal to average. So let's just run this program and see. So enter value for x. Let's assume our x is 5. Enter value for y. Let's assume our y is 9. So the computer shows it's 22. It's 22. That is our average. So now, if I just come back here in this program and run the program again, something will happen. Let me just tell you what will happen. This, if I enter the same number for x and y, the computer is going to run line 13. So this line 13 is going to run. But this if will not happen because this condition is automatically false. If these are the same, then this cannot be less than this. So computer will not add anything here. Computer will not do the LC, and computer will just jump down to this part. Since this line 24 is not inside curly bracket, the end of my curly braces is line 22. So since line 22 is the end of my curly braces, so therefore this place is going to be executed. So the computer will run this line of code and skip all these ones and keep on running this one. So the computer will just add the numbers without adding 10 or 20 to the smaller or bigger number and then execute this. So let's see what will happen. So if you run this code again, and let's assume we enter the same number, 5 and 5. So we enter the same number here, enter 2 different numbers, average equal to 20. 5 plus 5. What actually happened? This is not the expected behavior of our program. So let's see where the problem occurs. Enter 2 different numbers. So what really happened here is that this condition here is checking if x is equal to x. If x is the same thing as x. So, and this first condition is if x is less than y. So x is not less than y since x is equal to x is equal to y. But this else here means anything that is other than this condition in line 15 should have this operation here. Yeah. Anything that is less, that is apart from, that is anything that is not line 15 should just come here. So equal to is not less than, so therefore computer will take this and bring it here. Computer will take line 12 here. Since x is the same thing as y, computer will come to line 13 and execute, enter two different numbers, but it will keep on reading. So in line 15, if x is less than y, x is less than y, but our condition is not, x is not less than y, they are now the same. So computer will skip this one automatically, and computer will come to this one. So the else is just computer will bring it here and perform this operation. I hope you guys understand. So that is why we have unexpected behavior. So it's somehow we can even remove this line of code here. So we just put the condition up, or we use the else if. I don't want to use the else if here. I want to use it here. So now here, as you can see, I declare three variables A, B, C. They are the side of my rectangle. I'm going to write a program that will check based on side. If a triangle is equilateral, isosceles, or scalene triangle. So we are just going to write a program that will check if which based on the side entered by the user. So firstly, we start with if side A is the same thing as side B, and at the same time side B is the same thing as side C, and at the same time side A is the same thing as side C. So if these three conditions happens at the same time, this and means all of them must be true. This must be true, and this also must be true at the same time, and this also must be true. So this is how the AND works. The AND is only true if all the conditions are true. It's unlike the OR. We're going to see them how they work in the future programs. So is side A the same thing as side B? At the same time, is side B the same thing as side C? At the same time as side A the same thing as side C? So if all these sides are, if all these are equal, then just come into C out equilateral triangle. So there is all. Then we come here and set else. So if a triangle is not an equilateral triangle, then it is either isosceles or scalene. So we use another if here. If side A is not equal to side B, at the same time if side B is not equal to side C, at the same time if side A is not equal to side C, then we come here and set C out. This is a scalene, so scalene triangle, since all the three sides are not equal. Then this if here in line 18, it has its own else. So the else is here. So what is the else? So the else is isosceles. So if it is not an equilateral, if all the three sides are not equal, if all the three sides are equal, it is equilateral. If all the three sides are not equal, it is scalene. If none of the two happen, then it is scalene. Isosceles. I hope my spelling is correct. So this is how it is. So let's just explain this in brief. I don't want this video to be very, very long. So the if is in line 12, computer will check are the three sides equal. If yes, computer will execute equilateral. Else, computer is going to enter another block of program. So this block of code, this else is for this if. Computer will check, okay, since it is not an equilateral, is it scalene? All the three sides are not equal, different. So computer will check using this if. So if this is true, computer will execute this line 19. Else, this else is the else of this small if here. This else is the else of this if inside the else of the main if here. So now this else here, computer will execute C out isosceles triangle. This triangle, I think, right here is the list. So then that is the last else. Then if you run this program, okay, this C out. Okay, this also C out. What happened to my C outs? So let's say 5, 5, and 5. equilateral triangle. So let's run the program again and see. Let's see 4, 6 and 4 again. And you see isosceles triangle. Let's run the program again and let's see 3, 4 and 5. And you see scaling. So our program is working as expected. So this is just the application of the if and the else, and we have a lot to discuss in the conditional statement of our program. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and just comment on the video. Thank you.